Hey guys, my name is Sultan. I recently watched a video by Graham Stephan that is titled Mistakes to Avoid in Your 20s or something along that line. So I got the idea that why don't I bring you guys a video of mistakes to avoid in your 20s. But I'm currently 21 and so I guess I just ended my 20s. So I thought, you know what? I'll bring you guys a video on mistakes to avoid as a teenager because I guess I was a teenager quite a while back. Today I'm going to go through 5 money mistakes that I believe every single teenager should avoid, and if you're no longer a teenager then still watch this video anyway because it'll probably be useful to you. So the first thing would be driving an expensive car. So if you don't already know, people are allowed to actually drive between the age of 16 to 17. Yeah, but from 17 you can definitely start driving, and it's kind of crazy to me because I wasn't even thinking about driving at 17, I think. But people, for some reason I don't understand this, people drive at the age of 17 and have an absolute bust down of a car for whatsoever reason. A car really and truly is to transport you from A to B. Listen, if you're a millionaire then fine, you can drive wherever you want, you can even tell them to shut up, right? But I believe most 17-year-olds definitely didn't buy the car with their own money. It's probably their parents' money or on a loan or something along that line. So I just think there's so much more you can do with that money that you're going to spend on an expensive car at that age. You know, between the age of 17 to 19. I just believe, have a small car, have a decent car, nothing too crazy. So spending like between maximum like 5k on a car when you're younger is perfectly fine, and use it, rinse it out for a very long time. Then you can upgrade to like a big man's car when you're much older, or a big person's car when you're older, if you get what I mean. So yeah, the first thing, just avoid driving an expensive car, simply because the car is just gonna charge you over and over and over again. Like, cars are expensive, you're gonna spend money on petrol, the car is just gonna deflate, like it's just gonna lose its money, it's just gonna tank instantly as soon as you first even get into it. So you're not gonna sell it for the same amount you got it for, and if it's on contract, then that just means that you're gonna be on that contract for very long time, probably like 4 years, 3 years, 2 years. So think about it, you're paying for this car that you've had for like 4 years now, and you probably don't even like that car in 4 years time, but you're still paying this contract over and over and over again. Trust me, it's not worth having a mad car when you're younger. I believe have this when you're much older because it just makes more sense. For the second thing, this is for those who refuse to get a job when you're much younger. I understand school, uni, whatever it might be that you're doing while you're younger, but I personally think have a job when you're younger. As soon as you touch 16 or whatever the legal age is, get one. It might not be your 9 to 5 every single day, 40 hours a week. No, of course not. But I'm saying have a decent job, even if it's once a week. The reason why I'm saying this is that it gets you into that work mindset. When I was younger or a teenager, I had a job where I worked at a stadium and I was much younger. I have to travel a very long time, but that just meant that it took a whole day to make this money basically. I have to travel, then come back. It basically took a whole Saturday or a whole weekend, which is perfectly fine. It got me into that working mindset, I was able to actually adapt to it, I was ready for it. But for those who don't get a job when you're much younger, this just means that when you're older now and you have to get a proper job, because you can't get a 1 day a week job now, it's a bit more hectic, simply because all of a sudden you just hate it, you're dreading it, you're doing it because now you have to, because you're in a life circumstance or whatsoever. Of course you don't want to get a job you hate. We already know that, but that's not what this video is about. But you simply want to get a job at a younger age so you can easily adapt to it. You can easily get used to working. You can easily start making money from young as well. And making bread from young is very important. Extremely important. Like, between that 17 to your 20s, your whole of 20s, these are probably the most expensive money you're going to have, or the most useful, the most whatever money you're going to have. It's just so important because this amount of money almost determines everything else. What you do with that money determines everything else, because you have time and you have compound interest and everything to work for you from that age. So you want to make a lot of dough at a young age. So the third thing would be not saving at a young age as well. By saving, this is what I mean. So when you're younger, you do have a bank account. Of course, everyone should have a bank account. If not, then get one. So the reason this is important is simply because when you're younger, between the age of 11 to 16, this is a beautiful time. I wish I knew this when I was younger, but when you invest in a bank account, the interest rate that you get is extremely insane. When you're older, interest rate is absolute nonsense in a bank. It's absolute doo-doo. No point, it's like 0.02%, but when you're younger, that is much more significant. Things might have changed now just because of what's going on in the world and how things have changed. All interest rate has been cut, but it's probably still decent. Investing about £10 a week, £20 a week or whatever in your bank account will make you a whole lot of money until you get past the age of 16. For those who are earning £20 a week, because I know a couple of my friends used to get like £20 a week when they were younger, mate, first of all, you have nothing to spend £20 on when you're younger, because trust me, we were out here hustling with the amount of money that we got, nothing crazy. So for those who are getting, £20 a week, if you're spending £2 a day, like, come on now, £2 a day for 5 days, that's £10. The rest of the £10 can be saved up. You're just gonna thank yourself. Like, your older self is gonna thank you for saving this amount of money, because you can make use of all the time that you have. Literally, you can start putting that £10 in, make the most of that interest when you're up to 16. Then from 16, move all that money now that's compounded and everything. Now you can move that into another savings account, or an ISA, or just something else. Like, you can do so much with the money that you make. I wish I knew this when I was younger. If I knew this when I was younger, I would have started saving from birth pretty much straight away. As soon as I pop out, start investing £5 into the market or something like that, you get me? Now for the fourth thing, this will simply be leaving home for the sake of it, or leaving home because of your friends, or leaving home because you just want to and you're bored or you're tired of your parents. Oh my, trust me, being at home is one of the best things you can possibly do. Only leave home if you really have to, like for uni or whatever the sake is, and that's just uni you're going to. But don't do it because of friends. Don't do it because you're sick and tired, because the amount of money it's going to cost you to live by yourself is ridiculous. Especially in London, it's absolutely insane. So leaving home to live by yourself, you're gonna have to pay for things like food, you're gonna have to pay rent, you're gonna have to pay for bills, you're gonna have to pay for transport, you're gonna have to pay to come back home to see your parents and all of this. You're now by yourself. It's a big thing, especially when you're young. Cool, obviously when you're going to uni, I said, that's fine, that's debatable. If you're young, like 16, 17, and you just want a car, you just want to leave your parents because you're sick and tired of them, I would just recommend you firm it. Just stay, simply because the amount of money that you're going to spend on a house and to pay somebody else, that money you can really, really make the most of for yourself. Again, as I said, your teenage years and your 20s are extremely important. So let me put it this way for you. If you invested $100, just $100 on the stock market from the age of 18 every single month, by the age of 52, you would have saved up $152,000. That is a ridiculous amount of money to have. And the crazy thing is, that is just you saving up $100 every single month, which is very, very easy to do, if I'm being honest. If you have a job, you can easily do that. Even if you have a part-time job or a weekend job, you can probably still do that. Just £100 every single month. And think about it, as you grow, you're gonna make more money, and that's more money you can invest. So investing even more will then ensure that you have, okay, I was gonna say millions, maybe not millions and millions, but you're gonna have thousands and thousands and thousands of thousands if you actually started that from the age of 18. So you don't want to be spending this money on paying rent when you're 18, unless you have to. That is literally, it's that simple. So trust me, guys, just do some research on it, find out how much money you can actually make when you're older. If you start saving at a certain point with a certain amount of money, you'll probably thank yourself for it. Now for the final thing, I've seen many people get an expensive phone every single year for the sake of what? I don't know. Just avoid getting an expensive phone every single year unless your phone somehow breaks every single year, which makes absolutely no sense, because if your phone breaks every single year, that probably means you shouldn't have a phone at all. So the problem with this is, you're paying for this expensive phone. Let's say you're 18 or 17 or whatever the case is, and I'm guessing you're paying for it. So now what's gonna happen is that you're gonna work and you're gonna be paying off this phone every single time from your paycheck. You're gonna be deducting what, £30 or whatever the case is every single month to pay this phone off for what, 2 years of your contract. Not smart at all. So what I would say people should do, of course you want to have a phone that's good enough. Of course, a phone is meant to do its job. Get a phone, then just get the next phone in that 4 years time where there's a massive, huge difference. The screen looks different or something, or now the phone can pick up calls by itself, something crazy like that. But don't get a phone for the sake of trend. Don't get a phone every single year, paying contract every single year, because when you think about it, at the end of the year or something ridiculous like that, you will see the amount of money you spent on just your phone alone ain't worth it. Unless, there's always an exception, unless your phone is making you money, go ahead. Have, 5 phones if you have to. If your phone's making you peas, go ahead. And when I say money, I mean money that actually kind of pays for itself, not because you're making £1 from. Anyway, most of the time, most of us don't do this. For me, I guess I followed the right path for whatever the case is. I had a phone, I had the iPhone 6, used it for like 4 years, then moved on and used that for like another whatever years. Like the problem is you don't want to be paying things off years after it's lost its worth. It's not really smart. Like it's just not, it makes no sense. You want to either buy the phone outright, know you've done that, and then that's it. Don't go ahead and not buy another phone the next year just because you want a new version. Like a perfect example is like the iPhone 11 and iPhone 12. It's very stupid, let's be honest. It's basically the same phone, like nothing crazy about it. Unless you move from an iPhone 8 to 12 or 7 to 12, good, but don't move from 11 to 12. Again, unless your phone's making you money, before I get slaughtered in the comments or something. Now that's a wrap. Thank you guys for watching, thank you guys for being here today. I really do appreciate you. Look out for another video every single Sunday, and be sure to check the description down below. If you do want to start investing, if you want to start making money for yourself, then all the links are down there. I'm not going to repeat every single thing and all of that, not to waste your time. But check out these 2 videos down below. Watch one of them if you want to learn more about making money.